Oh, it's beautiful.
Hey, you tricked me!
Because it's my job to keep you from getting the flu. So we don't have to do this for a whole another year.
Your forecast. On Friday, we'll have temperatures in the low 80s with scattered thunderstorms. Expect fair skies on Saturday and Sunday.
10 minutes to the hour, time for the Tropical Outlook, and we're still talking about Tropical Storm Claudette, which is moving west fairly rapidly at 21 miles per hour. We've been tracking this storm now for a few days, and it looks like we still are dealing with a tropical storm. Hasn't quite hit that hurricane status of 74 mile per hour winds. Nonetheless, it does have 60 mile per hour winds, and is located about 200 miles just south of the Grand Cayman. Let's take a look at this on our satellite loop. You can see that there's still quite a bit of a circulation here, a little twist in this, as the upper low just to the west of it in the mid-levels of the atmosphere is kind of now choking the center. It has those strong southwest winds, and it's going to continue to do so as it moves on that westward track. Nonetheless, it's heading towards the Yucatan now. And it looks like the greatest impact once it heads towards the Yucatan is going to be the increase in the water flow. We're going to be dealing with waves up to 18 feet, and the winds are going to be anywhere about 30 to 40 miles per hour, we think. And it looks like the possibility of this continuing to track into the Gulf of Mexico over the weekend, still a broad area, nonetheless a few days away. And you can see that the impact will certainly be something to deal with across the Grand Cayman and the Little Cayman. Of course, with the fast movement of this storm system, we're going to continue to deal with less of a lingering effect, so it means that we'll deal with less flooding. Nonetheless, we are dealing with some tropical storm warnings along the eastern side of the Yucatan now as this storm continues to make its track towards that area. Now, a little further eastward along the Atlantic Basin, not much going on. We still have a few thunderstorms rolling from the east to the west, but it's fairly quiet here and fairly quiet across the Gulf of Mexico as of right now. And when you take a look at the eastern Pacific, well, we've seen some convection here just to the west of Acapulco, southwest. Nonetheless, nothing here to warrant any conditions for us to worry here in the near future. We are worried, though, for the folks in the Midwest. Lots of flooding, repeated heavy showers over some areas, across areas of the Ohio Valley as well, and now tonight, more strong thunderstorms. Our front is progressing eastward. These severe thunderstorm watches are in effect through the early morning hours, and you can certainly see why on radar. We are dealing with some very heavy, nasty weather that's moving through Springfield right now. Springfield, Illinois, and pushing on south and east. These clusters of thunderstorms do have some embedded hail with them and a lot of lightning. Right now, Bloomington, well, it looks like you've pretty much dealt with the brunt of it all. The line has moved towards the south now and is continuing to move just to the west of Cincinnati, but we could get some of that line building in towards the area as these showers continue to push on south and east. St. Louis, though, you could probably see the distant lightning. There's a little outflow boundary, winds indicating to us that are stronger ahead of the storm, so you get that cool air rushing in, then the heavy showers and thunderstorms. More on that after this.
Evening Edition is sponsored by Pepsid Complete. Just one and heartburn's done.
we only made cars.
Would you really want to take a heartburn prescription every day for heartburn that you don't get every day? I don't think so. Try Pepcid first. When I know heartburn's coming, I prevent it with one Pepcid AC. It stops heartburn before it even starts. Or after heartburn's already hit, I take one Pepcid Complete. It starts controlling acid in seconds and lasts all day or all night. And unlike a prescription, you take one only when you need it. Pepcid, just one, and heartburn's done.
If you're buying...
The forecast for your area. Expect fair skies Saturday through Monday with temperatures in the 80s on Saturday.
Well, it's 10 minutes till the hour, time for our tropical update. And of course, all eyes are on Tropical Storm Claudette. And if you're trying to figure out where is Claudette, this is the Caribbean. Of course, this is Florida, Cuba. And here is Claudette. Now, the latest on Claudette, the 5 a.m. update has winds at 60 miles per hour. It is moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour now. Hurricane hunters have been in there overnight. Now, a new aircraft has gone in. We're getting some reports now. The pressure is at 996 millibars. That is estimated. And the center of Claudette is 375 miles southeast of Cozumel, Mexico. And the forecast has it heading towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Here it is on our satellite picture. Notice the convection with the oranges and yellows. There's a lot of it here and showing some outflow up to the north, but still getting some shear from the southwest. There's an upper level low here in the Gulf of Mexico. And because of this upper level low, it's really, I think, going to keep the intensity down. And that is the forecast, to keep it as a tropical storm over the next couple of days. It does make landfall in the Yucatan. At least the forecast has it that way Friday morning. So if you have plans to head here, maybe to Cancun, call your travel agent. Or, you know, we're going to see seas about 18 feet here. And eventually it does make its way into the Gulf of Mexico. So everybody in the Gulf should be watching this very, very closely. We do have tropical storm warnings up, as well as hurricane watches up here from Cabo Catoche to Chetumal, Mexico. And again, it is possible it could strengthen a little bit. And folks here, again, should be watching this closely. In the Eastern Pacific, this is being monitored for possibly becoming a tropical depression here in the next 12 to 24 hours. Bill?
And Kim, we turn now to Heather Tesh of Your Weather Today. And Heather, good morning. How are you guys looking to track this latest round of stormy weather?
Well, Bill, we're going to follow the progress of the storms, keeping folks on top of all the latest warnings. Alexander Steele is going to show commuters where those storms may cause some travel delays. And of course, we'll preview conditions along the Jersey Shore and other popular weekend getaways. Now, Bill, I understand you're going to tell us why your summer utility bills may be even higher than you might expect.
That's right. Hot summer temperatures have some electric companies sweating over what is normally a profitable time. Linda Bell explains why in the Bloomberg Money Barometer.
Good morning. Mother Nature is turning up the heat on utility companies. While the hot weather has led to increased demand for electricity to power air conditioners, it has also reduced the amount of gas available for utilities needing to build inventories. Now, according to energy officials, electricity generators are trying to compensate for the shortfall by adding to their reserve capacity. This will help them deal better with demand surges caused by increased air conditioner use in July and August. But still, consumers aren't cutting back on electricity use in response to higher prices. Natural gas futures have nearly doubled since last summer, pushing up retail electricity prices. The cost to cool your home has increased on concern hot weather from California to New Jersey will slow replenishment of gas inventories before winter time. Energy companies store gas from April through October to ensure adequate supplies to run furnaces during the winter. For the Weather Channel, I'm Linda Bell with the Bloomberg Money Barometer.
Now let's talk about the weekend. And if you have plans, let's say around Chicago, it is going to be a nice weekend for you folks. New York City, Boston, also looking at some good weather. And here in Houston, if you're in town for the Pirates, or the Pirates are in town, looking at the chance for showers and storms. And here on New Orleans, looking for thunderstorms on Sunday.
And Dennis Smith joining us now and recapping things are on the up and up in Chicagoland.
It looks like Chicago will be improving. Even New York City with those morning sprinkles should see some afternoon sunshine. Sprinkles this morning in Philly, and then afternoon showers will pop up in D.C.
That's it for First Outlook, everyone. Have a great day today.
And we'll be back with more First Outlook tomorrow morning. Right now, though, coming up, your local on the 8s.
This is my bridge.
This is my building.
And this is my truck.
For people that care about getting the job done right, we built the Toyota Tundra better from the ground up.
Dude, check one, dude.
Yeah, they're back. And so is the All-American Blizzard treat. Red, white, and blue M&M's candies blended with DQ soft serve and chocolate. Get one in July, and you could win a trip to an All-American destination or a free Blizzard.
Expect fair skies on Saturday and Sunday, and on Monday, expect a chance of thunderstorms.
Time now for your tropical update here on the Weather Channel. I'm Janetta Jones. We're keeping a very close watch on Tropical Storm Claudette this Thursday, and let's get right to it. Here's the latest information on the tropical storm moving through the Caribbean fairly rapidly over the last several days, but if you'll notice, it has slowed down considerably. Yesterday, I think it was moving at about 24, 25 miles per hour. Today, 16 miles per hour, and its movement has been towards the west-northwest. Now, this is as of the 11 a.m. advisory. Winds up a bit to 70 miles per hour there. It's centered about 275 miles southeast of Cozumel, Mexico, and the pressure is 995 millibars. So we're keeping a very close watch on it. It's a very strong tropical storm, fairly close to hurricane status, and so I want to show you that we have tropical storm warnings in effect everywhere. We have the red shading, including part of the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, as a matter of fact, where we're going to see some effect over the next hour or so. Several hours, actually, with some high seas and some strong gusty winds. Now, we also want to mention, since it is so close to hurricane status, that we have hurricane warnings in effect, as you can see, along the coast of Mexico. So we are watching and waiting to see what is going to happen with Tropical Storm Claudette as it continues to move a little bit slower now. So as it has slowed down, it could, in fact, intensify a little bit before it makes landfall, probably somewhere in the Yucatan Peninsula region. Now, we think that it may move back out into the Gulf of Mexico and could actually strengthen again. Obviously, it's going to weaken it a little bit to move over land, over the Yucatan Peninsula, but it could re-strengthen once it gets back out over the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and they are very, very warm waters at this point, as you well know. Now, here's a close-up vantage point of what's going on with this tropical storm. Of course, the reconnaissance aircraft are going in and out of this thing periodically and getting us new fixes and getting us new information, observations, telling us what is going on with this tropical storm. As of right now, it is not a hurricane, but it is a strong tropical storm, and it could, in fact, intensify a little bit. It has slowed down a little bit. Sorry about this, but as you can see, it is looking more and more impressive as we are going through time. Now, we do have an upper low that it is interacting with a little bit, but that is anticipated to weaken. As it moves in this direction, we think that low is going to weaken somewhat in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so that too will allow for some further strengthening, if you will. Now, the projected path
takes it somewhere across the Yucatan Peninsula over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, with that said, know that you're going to see some strong, gusty winds of up to 40, 50 miles per hour at least, and probably going to experience some high seas, some wave action, if you will. And then we're going to see it reemerge probably in the Gulf of Mexico. Will it eventually make landfall in Mexico or Texas? Way too soon to make that call. So what you need to do is just kind of tune back in periodically here at the Weather Channel, and we will certainly keep you posted as to what is going on with Tropical Storm Claudette. Elsewhere, we can show you what's happening just outside of the coast of Africa, where we have a fairly impressive cluster of showers and thunder showers that have moved off of the coast of Africa. Will this become our next tropical depression? Way too soon to tell, but we'll keep you posted. Now, as we head on out, well, actually, this is not the right frame, so I'm just going to show you this. We do have a new tropical depression. It is not Andres, but we have a tropical depression, and we'll be getting that for you graphically as soon as possible. It's so new that we don't have it drawn up as of yet, but that is our new tropical depression just to the south and west of Acapulco, Mexico, moving away from land, by the way. Now, as we take a peek at what's happening here in the lower 48, we have a chance for some really intense thunderstorms from Ohio into Pennsylvania and right on down into the southeast. A lot of severe thunderstorm watches already in effect for the southeast, and now a new one into the Ohio Valley, including Louisville, Kentucky, where big storms are heading in your direction. We also have a huge threat for flash flooding. Flood watches are in effect. More on this still to come. Stay with us.
Fast Act Foam. Its patented formula knocks out weeds in 24 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Roundup Fast Act Foam knocks out weeds in 24 hours.
Go to Roundup.com for expert advice on how to control annoying weeds all season long.
Can your nails do this and not break? They can with Nutrinail Power Gel. It makes natural nails hard as wraps to prevent nail breakage. Nutrinail Power Gel.
Can I get life insurance at my age, in my health?
Forecast. Expect fair skies on Saturday and Sunday, and on Monday, expect a chance of thunderstorms.
It's 10 minutes before the hour and time for the Tropical Update. I'm Carl Parker. Tropical Storm Claudette is still churning in the Atlantic and will be of some concern to those in the Yucatan in the next 15 to 18 hours. Here's the very latest. The wind's now 70 miles an hour. As of 5 p.m., it was just over 200 miles southeast of Cozumel, moving northwest at 14. Tropical storm warnings are up around the Yucatan and the Cayman Islands, and hurricane warnings are also up around the Yucatan. I want to turn our attention now to hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons. And Dr. Steve, what has been the trend as far as intensity in the last few hours?
Well, the satellite intensification looks like there is none or it's weakening. The system is becoming much less organized through time. Let's look at this image here, and I'll show you something that's sort of interesting. Here are the hurricane warnings along the coast. Here's our tropical storm. It's moving northwest. and currently doesn't show any signs of strengthening. So down here on the southern edge of this hurricane warning, the chances of getting hurricane winds there are very slim. Looks like the system's going to move just across the northern tip of the Yucatan and then into the Gulf of Mexico over the next 18 hours or so. Here's a little closer view of it, and you can see the winds starting to pick up along the Cancun-Cozumel area, gusting to a little above 30 miles per hour off and on. The stronger winds, though, are in a very small section right up here in this area right here, the circulation being right here. It's going to be possibly the strongest winds missing the northern portion of the Yucatan and staying in the Yucatan Channel here overnight as it moves offshore. In the meantime, the Cayman Islands, weather improving tomorrow, should be nice, breezy but nice, and rain ending. And down here to the southwest, down here over the Honduras area and farther down near Belize, that's where the neutral point is, of the area where the winds are light and variable, so we don't expect much down there at all wind-wise for you. Now, the projected path takes it overnight over the northern Yucatan or possibly in the Yucatan Channel and then out into the Gulf of Mexico on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, and then the next few days beyond that toward the Texas coast and or North Mexico coast. Keep in mind, this is a highly uncertain area out in here, and so this is just sort of an outlook. But in the meantime, you can see that anywhere from basically Lake Charles down to Brownsville, need to be monitoring this very carefully over the next 48 to 72 hours. Now let's look at the large-scale tropical Atlantic. Here is our tropical storm, forecast to become a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico and possibly before landfall in the Yucatan, but right now it's not showing signs of that. Showers moving toward the southern Antilles and a low-pressure center moving off the African coast. None of these showing any signs of development tonight. We do have a tropical depression in the eastern Pacific. This is Tropical Depression 5E. The good news, moving west-northwest at 15, winds 35 miles per hour, and it's not showing much in the way of development or organization. Circulation center roughly right there, and it could bring some higher than normal surf to Cabo San Lucas and portions of Mexico. It's really going to have to crank up to a strong storm or hurricane before you feel any of it in Southern California surfers. So right now, not a real threat to the Mexican coast. Carl?
Dr. Steve, thank you very much. Let's quickly talk about what's happening with severe weather across the U.S. And we do now have a number of watch areas, including a brand new watch, which we don't have graphically for you there, in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. And there's a tornado warning now for Culpeper County in Virginia. That cell moving toward the east at 15 miles an hour. Should be very close to the city of Culpeper. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. And we have a number of warnings now, including Orange County in Virginia, many warnings in Kentucky and Tennessee. Those cells generally working east at 35 to 45.
You'd never hear this from John, but he owns the best car repair shop in town. He's got a well-deserved reputation for getting it right the first time. He listens to his customers. He uses top-quality Napa parts, and he backs up his work every time. Now, as much as we'd like to take credit for it, a shop like John's isn't this good because there's a Napa sign out front. Fact is, there's a Napa sign out front because John's shop is this good.
Visit the Napa Auto Care Center or Collision Center nearest you, or call 1-800-LET-NAPA.
Let's say this is your car. Nice hardtop. If you drive safely, meaning you do stuff like obey the speed limit, always check